Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio Podcast. This is our kickoff to 2021, and hopefully the road to this pandemic finale here. Joining me this evening, Chucks and Will Beans on assignment because he partied too hard, if I had to guess. He's absolutely knackered. His words, I believe. Or he's just hungover, or something like that.
Still recovering 2 days later.
Yeah.
He might have a nosebleed for his team being that high up the table.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah,
Not quite top though, are they?
I've been
quite.
I've been sleeping a lot lately, and I've been kind of needing it, so I kind of feel him. And he has a kid, so I mean he has an actual excuse. I've got streaming, I guess, is my excuse. So
Your child.
yeah, my baby that is known as Twitch, yes. But how are you guys doing?
I'm good. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, yeah.
Happy New Year.
And Will, thank you again for filling in the duties here last week. The internet was not working as it should have been. To kind of catch everybody up to speed on the whole thing here is like it acted up back in I think the start of November, and a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of visits from various people. Initially, they tweaked something on the modem, which was to stop, what was they called it? Flopping, something or whatever. Which, I don't know what, I'm not a network guy, so I don't know what that entails or what that is in regards to, but that was one visit. Then another visit, the problem was still happening where I would just be streaming and all of a sudden I'd be losing frames and things like that. And that's what was the issue this past week, last week or whatever. And yeah, the visits just ranged from, all right, well, let's change out the wires to the splitter that goes into the modem, as well as one of the cable boxes, because there were some issues with that as well. That didn't fix the problem, so it then became to, all right, let's change the stuff that's like outside leading into the house, which apparently, and I learned this from a phone call, again, with one of the phone people I had to talk to, that it was basically ancient equipment, as the technician labeled it as. They replaced that, then the issue's still happening, and there was ingress on the cable line. And for like a couple of days it was fine, and then the problem came back and reared its head. I was like, hey, you're still losing frames, dipshit. I'm like, great, cool, awesome. And then basically, the issue that was most recent here was basically one of the upstream providers that my ISP has, like one of the 4 that they have for this area. One of them was malfunctioning, and apparently the modem should have kicked in to where it would have like swapped to one that wasn't malfunctioning, and then it wasn't doing that. So the guy, the most recent scheduled visit of a technician coming out here, called up and he was like, yeah, I have manually switched it, so that should hopefully be fixed, and then I'll keep an eye on it for you. I was like, oh, thank you. And that's pretty much my whole internet debacle. Because like last week, I was trying Twitch, I was trying YouTube. It was like, no, like the little green square turned red immediately, and it was not having it. So, and also like the modem, there was like a firmware update like a few weeks back or whatever, that the modem should have kicked in and fixed everything, and it didn't. It had to be manually done, and I had to have somebody call up again and like basically walk through it as they had to do stuff on their side of the call to make sure the modem was cycling through and things like that. So, yeah.
So are you working now?
Yeah, it's working now. It's working now. As if you couldn't tell from the controller vibrating because I'm playing
The
Fortnite.
controller clicking away.
Yeah, sorry. I'll try to keep it up here. But yeah, it was wild. Like, the one guy, the most recent phone call, like, was trying to get me to trace route certain things, like with Twitch and things like that. I'm like, buddy, I don't know how to do that. That's a foreign concept to me. And I go to look it up, and apparently Twitch servers are not trace routable for some reason. Probably for a good reason. One that I just don't understand or do not understand or whatever. But yeah, it was an ordeal. It's one that hopefully is
reminds me of one of the processors we used to have, and I work for a big internet company here.
Yeah.
And we'd always get them to do a trace route onto the BBC site.
Yeah.
Because we'd always know the BBC site would pretty much 99% be online. So yeah, it doesn't really tell you all that. But...
and like the same guy on the phone on the most recent phone call was like, "Hey, let's do a speed test," and like the speeds looked normal and everything, but again, the connection was unstable, and the guy was like, "Well, I don't know, but man, it just seems like it's fine." I'm like, "It's not fine. It's not at all." So,
yeah, it's frustrating.
It is.
So I don't know. I don't know what's worse now, because I've lost internet before, and it is just about the worst thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This week, our heating decided just to stop.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a bad one.
That is a bad one.
Especially this week. It decided to snow today. Luckily, it was put just in time, but like that's the kind of temperatures we're talking. It was snowing.
Yeah.
On I think New Year's Eve, it just stopped, and it doesn't look like there's anything wrong. I can still get hot water, but it won't go around the actual heating system. So, for a couple of days, it came back on last night. So was that a day and a bit maybe? We just had nothing. So now I'm weighing up: is having no heating or no internet? Which is worse? There, it's a tough call.
It's a tough call. Yeah.
Because no internet's like no Netflix, no Disney Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
No Hulu.
Yeah, that would have been rough. Yeah, no, it was chilly though.
Heating you can kind of get around if you just bundle up or like put on blankets or whatever. So that's like a short-term solution.
Yeah. We managed to borrow a couple of little space heaters to warm up one room at a time.
No internet, you're just kind of fucked.
Yeah, nothing you can do. But now I'm gonna have the problem, I guess, somewhat similar to the one you got now. We've got a guy to agree to come around and look at it, but now it's working.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. Like when it was malfunctioning, like it was usually in the wee hours of the night when they don't like. It's not like a 24-hour type of service setup that they have. It's just pretty much when like a normal 9 to 5 hours, and like usually when they came out, like OBS would just be like, "Yeah, we're fine now. We're okay. Everything's stable." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel you on that.
At least you got it all working again though. That's the
yeah. And the guy even called me up. He didn't even this would have been like I think the 7th or 8th technician or whatever. But yeah, he called up and he's like, "I think I fixed it for you." I was like, "Oh, thank you." That's a surprise. And yeah, it was. I'm grateful that it's working again. So yeah, thank you again to Will for running the board here last week on the show, making sure everything was smoothing along and things like that. Now he knows how to do it, so he doesn't need me anymore. Eventually, he could just
yeah. Now you can be fired after all these years.
After all these years, yeah, finally.
Didn't we do that at the end of the show last week?
It's possible, yeah. And yet here I am. Here I am. Just when you thought you could get rid of me, here I am.
Just doing it for free now instead.
Yeah.
It brought back a lot of memories, actually, doing the old BOW.
Did they pay you
to be
for
honest
that?
with you, thinking of... no, don't be silly.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
Just cash paying someone or something.
Okay,
You don't get a surname like that by giving money away.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a bit unfair. In his later life, he's a bit more willing to let go of money, shall we say.
Really?
At first, he wasn't.
I
never
Still in
listen to this
contact
anyway.
with him now?
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday.
I never knew the guy personally,
Yeah.
so.
Oh.
All I know is he wanted me to take that one video where he was it was from that drunk New Year's stream or whatever. Where he was talking to that guy that was like a terrorist or something like that.
Yeah,
Good times.
he's having he's not having a baby, but his girlfriend's having a baby.
Is it his?
I assume so.
Okay.
It's a valid question when it comes to Chris, to be honest with you.
Oh no! What are you letting us in on now?
He'll never listen to the show, don't worry.
No one will. That's not a problem.
I hope somebody like years later just stumbles down on like a YouTube rabbit hole and is like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, these guys sound interesting." Like, oh.
Made it through that intro
Yeah.
with all of our things breaking down.
Yeah.
And, Chris, I was listening to this podcast the other day, and like this guy, it says he knows you, a guy called Will, heavily implied that you're a cuckold.
Oh my god.
I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you he was I don't know what the word to use. Wayward.
Wayward.
Yeah, no, but he's this is his third kid now.
Oh, okay. So he's experienced in this. All right.
Oh yeah, it's not
Alright.
his first rodeo, literally.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, he keeps threatening to do things again, but he's not into wrestling anymore. So
Who is he?
he saw the light.
I know, like,
What does he want to do instead? What's the plan?
He's really into politics.
oh
Man.
Yeah. He wants to do the last idea I spoke to. He wants to do a podcast. In some way based on politics. So I don't know in what field.
I mean, no one's ever had that idea before.
yeah.
Well, exactly.
It's a real untapped market, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some guy who he follows quite a lot. Some big name over there. I had never heard of him. And he basically wants to be like, no, he's not as bad. I know him. He's a nutball.
Who's that?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. He's good entertainment though.
Oh,
If Chris could be the next Alex Jones, I'd be. Who is it? They're not Ben Shapiro.
I remember the name. No.
Who else?
I
is a
know
big
the name of his article. I can't think of it.
podcast? Tucker Carlson gets big ratings.
Yeah,
I don't think he's actually a podcast guy, but I think he's known. He's on the scene, if you know what I mean.
He's on the scene. I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's his.
That's his calling
goal.
right
He
now.
wants to be
Tim Pool does a good job.
Best of luck to him on that. I mean, he's got the experience, obviously.
You know what? He's a good broadcaster. I'll give him that. And if he knows what he's talking about, then I think he could be quite good. But Nick's not up to much these days. I think Nick was actually living over here for a little bit.
Was he?
Yeah.
Did he ever make it in acting?
No. I say no. That's probably a bit of a slant on Nick. I don't really know what he goes to. I think he still does a bit in amateur stuff, but I remember we did his website for him, which is not online anymore because he stopped paying for the hosting. But he got an advert, some kid's toy, and that was like a real big deal. I suppose it is if you're doing acting to get an advert. That was quite recent. That was about a year or so ago.
Wow.
It's still online somewhere. I'll dig it out and laugh at it later.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris about the VOW in the old days, and he said he just doesn't have any interest in wrestling anymore. So I think it might actually finally be dead.
Nah, never say never.
You never know.
Yeah, Nick married his then girlfriend, now his wife. She's from London.
Oh yeah.
And they got married over here, and they did a tour of the UK while they were here. And he was in Liverpool. I had no idea he was here. And then it was only after he'd gone back home to New York he told me he was in Liverpool. Like, you could have said. But still.
Yeah.
Well, that's my interesting news of the week.
There's no hope of a VOW reunion.
No.
Like a 9th VOW reunion, whatever.
The 9th time.
Yeah. I don't know. Never say never with those guys.
I don't know. I think it is.
All right, fair enough. Maybe for the early foreseeable future, but you never know.
I don't know. I mean, if he got someone turned around and offered them all kinds of money, I think he'd find his interest in wrestling again. But yeah.
I don't know how Brian Alvarez fucking watches this shit without just throwing his arms up and just being like, "I'm done with this garbage."
Do you listen to his shows? That's basically what he does.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just gonna take a look on the .com here real quick. See what we've got.
How old's
See all the
Dave
news
Meltzer these days?
What's that, Will?
How old's Meltzer these days?
Just 60. Just turned 60.
Oh, and he's still interested somehow.
Oh.
He is so interested. Like, obviously, he doesn't love WWE, but when New Japan comes on, he sounds like the most excited kid. Like, I don't know how. At this point, I don't know how anyone has that much enthusiasm about anything. I wish there was something in the world that made me feel like that.
I mean, obviously it's his job, so he gets there's a bit of motivation there. But
if it wasn't his job, he would still watch certain things. Probably not as much, but he would watch New Japan. Yeah, absolutely.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
Hall of Famer night.
Not Raw. He wouldn't watch
Raw. I don't blame him. Hall of Famer night on Raw this upcoming Monday here with Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Legends night.
Whatever. Ric Flair. There you go. Thank you. Booker T, Big Show, Mark Henry, Tori Wilson, and more highlight Raw Legends nights, and Drew McIntyre faces Keith Lee in the WWE Championship match.
That list of legends really dropped off pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Hogan and Flair, and then it was Mark Henry. Nice guy. I like Mark Henry, but
that's what he do.
There's tears. Tier list of legends here.
Let's see here. Past results. Also, speaking of Brian Alvarez, he kind of tore into the Raw write-up because of how Raw ended, and they didn't. Yeah, they just kind of dropped off here. The person writing this article didn't sign their name or go over the Alexa Bliss stuff. So let's see what happened here. Keith Lee defeated Sheamus, and that's how Keith Lee gets the WWE Championship opportunity next week. Okay.
I did actually see Raw for the first time in a while. I did actually watch it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad show, to be fair. It was typical in the middle of Christmas before the Rumble filler.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was the I'm going to get to it in a minute. The Alexa stuff's a bit weird and interesting, but
yeah. Grand Metalik defeated The Miz. And you see John Morrison lurking in the background there. Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke.
Before we go any further, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember last week when we discussed that there's a possibility that they were going to give The Miz the Money in the Bank back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His argument was that it wasn't actually him that cashed it in, it was John Morrison, which it was, to be fair. Just scroll down a bit, mate.
Okay. Let's see here. The world is ready to turn the page up on 2020. The Miz is likely leading the charge. The A-lister has been despondent after failing in his Money in the Bank cash-in at WWE TLC, and a loss to Grand Metalik certainly is going to help. King of the Ropes stunned Miz with his aerial attacks, and an acrobatic roll-up sealed the deal for Grand Metalik. Okay. What about that?
It's okay. It's a bit further down. You keep going.
Okay. Let's see here. Shayna Baszler
Just carry on.
Got me intrigued now.
Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke. AJ Styles defeated Elias. Mustafa Ali defeated Ricochet. Charlotte Flair defeated Nia Jax by disqualification. No preview or video thing whatsoever. Hurt Business defeated The New Day, Jeff Hardy, and Riddle 8-man tag team match with no. It's like, honestly, guys, like they just gave up writing the fucking show here.
Yeah, sorry, I thought they were gonna. Yeah, whoever's done that's an idiot. The reason I was being a bit not very clear because I thought they were gonna actually show the bit, but yeah. Anyway, in a backstage bit, Adam Pearce give them the briefcase back.
Why?
Instead, he was right because he didn't cash it in. It was got to be cashed in by the holder. Yeah,
it's not even a thing up here. Yeah. So there you go.
There was a backstage bit which then led to some very strange and questionable dancing.
Yeah. Also, real quick before we leave this page, sorry. Sorry, like they mention it here with the whole like Alexa Bliss Orton thing, but there's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing about it. Like there's the video.
So is that what Brian was pissed about?
Yeah.
Like, there's just something that's. What was he actually saying about it?
He said something like it was basically like the person that wrote it didn't even cover the Alexa Bliss stuff because she was burnt to a crisp, and he was highly emphatic on that. So I'll try to find that here for.
Well, we never actually saw it.
Yeah.
A bit weird actually because it kind of left to your own imagination as to how it finished. Basically, Alexa was lying in the ring. Give Orton the canister like he did at TLC, and then Alexa asked him to cover it in the petrol.
The Raw report.
He wouldn't do it.
The Raw report on WWE.com literally ends with the 8-man tag. Presumably, whoever wrote it had no idea how to explain the main event angle and whether or not Alexa Bliss was, in fact, burnt to a fucking crisp after the show went off the air. Yeah, it was really
That's what you're
strange.
supposed to think.
Yeah.
Because Orton wouldn't do it, she then took the counter back off him and choked herself in petrol.
Yeah.
And then
this was like a weird, like 5-10 minute segment too.
It took way too long to get to this bit.
Yeah.
And then she gave him the match, and he lit it. And then as he had the match lit in his hand, and then the show went off the air.
Well, I think you're kind of underselling how they shot this here, because like he had the match here, or at least he was getting ready to, but then the Fiend shuts off the lights and everything.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah,
yeah.
The Fiend he thought the Fiend was coming out because it was the same that he does when he's coming out. His entrance.
The lights go off, and then the lights sort of come back on, and then like suddenly we get a POV angle that we're Alexa Bliss and Orton's just holding the match, and then the announcers are like, "Don't do it, Randy, don't do it," and then that's how the show ends. Literally, how they go off the air.
Yeah.
So whenever like this parting shot is going to go down in history as one of the ways Raw ended for people that still collect the little ending screens with the little bug in the corner or whatever. But yeah. So
this was the first show after
TLC, the ending bug thing. Yeah. Sorry.
So this is the first, this is the follow up from that thing.
Yeah.
Did they say what happened to Bray or like anything?
Oh no, this is the second one. Sorry, second show.
That was the second, because you said last week that she said that he'd be back but different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the second one, and he's not back yet.
Yeah.
But she now wants to be immolated, or whatever the word would be.
Oh, he was saying, Orton kept saying, you want to be burned, so you go meet him. You can be back with him.
Right. In the Burns ward.
In the Burns ward. So yeah, I don't know. It's I'm interested to know where they're gonna go with it, but if he's just gonna come back and attack Orton, that's just a bit of a letdown. I think something else needs to happen. I don't know what exactly, but something.
So she knows that he's gonna be back.
Well, that's this. What was it she said about? She said that maybe he might come back on Legends Raw because he's got something to say to Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair or something. She mentioned the Legend or something. Yeah, can't remember exactly how she put it.
So then, why does she also want to die then?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's kind of the whole point of the character.
That's a good question. See, I thought, I might be wrong here, isn't the idea that she's supposed to be possessed by him?
In some way, yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
So, it's not Alexa saying that she wants to get burned, is it? It's him. Is that the idea?
Maybe.
It still doesn't make any sense, but...
No, it does not.
Well, when Orton burned down the shed and stabbed the crucifix into the ground, that somehow removed Sister Abigail's hold over Bray Wyatt. So burning the Fiend surely should free up Alexa.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think, and that's probably the problem.
I don't know where they're going with this, but
probably nowhere.
Yeah.
They'll come back, and then they'll take Alexa away from him, and then just nothing will happen for a little while. I guess it tends to be the way these things go.
And if he just comes back and then say attacks Orton or something, then that's it. That's a bit of a letdown to the whole thing, really.
If he's just the Fiend again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that simple. I mean, it is wrestling. There's only so many ways they can go. It's got to lead to another match. Not another match, like a fight, a contest, an in-ring contest. Hopefully not another match.
Where they blow up Randy Orton or something. That's how the Fiend gets back or whatever. Let's see here. SmackDown. Kevin Owens interrupts the head of the table, the big chief, tribal big dog, Roman Reigns, and sets his sight on Jey Uso. Apparently, I only caught the last tidbit here of SmackDown, but we'll get into that in just a sec here. Intercontinental Champion Big E and Apollo Crews defeated Sami Zayn and King Corbin, which this was initially, I think, Corbin and Big E, but as things devolved, it turned into a tag team team match rather than an Intercontinental one. Because as Corbin's coming out, here's Big E on the ropes just airing out his junk, which I thought was pretty funny. I saw that on Twitter. It was great.
He's a flexible dude.
He is. Riot Squad defeated Tamina and Natalya. Apparently Natalya had some new music, I heard, as well. Bayley and Carmella defeated Sasha and Bianca Belair, which I don't know why Bianca's losing matches this early on the roster. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, who's now apparently back, attacked the Street Profits during their New Year's Day Smoketacular. Which I don't know what's happening there.
Roode's beard in that photo there is suspiciously dark. It looks like he's been on the Just for Men. He's got how Zack Ryder used to have a very black beard.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't look quite right.
I mean, it looks fine. I don't know.
It doesn't look like the color of his hair.
I mean,
I know what you mean. It's just a bit too dark.
Yeah. I mean, this up here matches this shade down here. If you ask me.
Kinda. But it's darker though, right?
Alright, can we zoom in? Hold on. Can we zoom in?
I don't know. I think he's in his 40s now. There may have been a couple of greys coming out. And I think he's overcompensated.
Damn, but yeah, I think it's a bit darker.
Yeah. Well, if the beard's dark, then he's trying to match it with his hair, because I think that's also dark as well.
It just does a lot of it.
From this close up.
Maybe it's just thicker. He's gone quite thin on the sides there.
Let's see here.
Still, I'd expect a couple of greys on a beard of a man his age.
Daniel Bryan and Otis defeated Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Nice. Unfortunately, Cesaro's eating another loss on the show, which I don't know what they're doing with him other than nothing. Kevin Owens defeated Jey Uso. Reigns unleashed a massive beatdown on Owens. Yeah, so this was the main event where it was Jey Uso and Kevin Owens, and somehow Kevin Owens gets the early upper hand. And honest to God, I don't know if there's a video recap of this or not, but there was so many camera cuts at the very beginning. It was I'm not one that usually complains about the camera cuts. I'm usually okay, I see what people are talking about, but I don't see it when it's happening. This was an exuberant amount of camera cuts that fucking happened all throughout this match at the start. It was noticeably awful. Which I'll try to see if they actually have one. See if they actually have any video of this. Well, this was already during the match, unfortunately. And then, this is where... this was another thing as well. It also didn't kind of make sense from Kevin Owens, because he's supposed to be a really smart guy here. So at one point, he breaks out handcuffs after the match is over, or whatever, and he's just beating the shit out of Jey Uso. Yeah, so he gets the handcuffs, and then he puts them on Jey Uso and handcuffs him to the rope here, as you can see. There you go. There's the handcuffs and all that. And then he starts kicking the shit out of him, and then eventually, for whatever reason, he goes into his shoe, unhandcuffs Jey Uso, as you can see there, as he's about to do, so that he can take him over to the tech area and then do this crazy splash on him, and that's when Roman Reigns shows up and Reigns tosses him off of this fucking scaffolding, basically. We're up in the cheap seats here, which also had like a random steel chair at one point. Which I don't know if I can. Yeah, there we are. Yeah. Like they go. Yeah, there's like all these screens here, and then yeah, Jey Uso just has like a chair suddenly. And they just start beating him with it. It's crazy.
Brawling out into the WWE universe there.
Yeah, but why would there be like? There's no crowd. Why would you have a
why would there be a chair?
Yeah, let alone two of them. That's my argument.
For a security guard.
For what? For what security? What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. This guy might jump through the screen.
No, I've got no idea. I don't know why there are steel chairs under the ring. I don't know why there's Singapore canes under the ring.
I've never understood that.
Yeah.
There's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
In the wrestling arena.
So yeah, that was SmackDown last night.
So sometimes you find guitars under there and everything. Why?
Yep. Occasionally, just for fun, there's actually a kitchen sink under there.
Also, real quick, there's no author to this write-up either, by the way. So it might have been the same person that did Raw and SmackDown, for all we know, on the write-up here.
No one wants to put their name to it.
That's not the Brad Zach or Michael Buffet or whatever his name was that I know of.
Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer, yeah.
There was one other thing on SmackDown. How long ago was it now? When was the Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville loser leaves match?
A while ago. Was that SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, was it?
You'll never see it coming.
Never see it coming. I can't remember it either.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sonya Deville lost the match.
Yeah.
Yep.
She had to lose. She had to leave, rather.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know in real life she just wanted time off because of what was going on.
Yeah.
In her own life. She appeared randomly backstage on SmackDown last night.
Yeah, she was walking through and everybody was like, "Oh shit, it's Sonya."
And Corey Graves said she's been reinstated.
Yeah.
So the whole loser leaves to a rematch was a complete waste of time.
I mean,
if I was Mandy Rose, I'd have words.
Yeah.
No, you mean they didn't stick to the stipulation?
Incredible.
It's like they didn't even bother this time, though. There wasn't even like a
Loser leaves SmackDown.
Yeah. Or even some sort of excuse to get her back, Someone had signed an agreement or something, something. It was just, she's being reinstated. Mm-hmm. Okay. Move on.
That's all you need.
Yeah, also, Mandy was basically staying at Sonya's place. At least, because, Mandy sent out an image. Because, let me see if I can find it here. Not to get all weird or whatever. Let's see here. There's... What the world? Yeah, there we are. So there's this, okay? If you're an astute social media person like I am. I'm sorry, let me get rid of... No! Get rid of the telestrator. There we are, sorry. Yeah, so you see the Christmas tree, mug on the counter, the rainbow flag here and whatnot. Mm. And this was yesterday, January 1st, 2021. And then if you check Sonya's Twitter on November 28th, same coffee cup, same Christmas tree, same rainbow flag here, basically. So they're basically in the same facility or same building or whatever. I think it actually is Sonya's house.
Christmas tree wasn't the first thing I looked at and then photographed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now that I've age restricted this video.
Well, wasn't she staying with them anyway when the
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So
When the whole
wouldn't
thing-
be surprised if they were living together anyway.
Yeah. And they were like legit best friends, so I mean,
Yeah.
just something to point out, in case anybody's wondering out there.
No, I feel adequately informed.
No problem.
Yeah.
And for what was it? Dynamite this past week. The John Huber, Brody Lee,
Yeah.
Harper tribute show. Probably one of the best tribute shows I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, it was. I ended up watching it live. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It's a really simple one. The matches were like all 6-man tags, right? So
They
there
all
was a
had
lot-
like Dark Order in them, and they all won.
Yeah, all had some Dark Order influence. So yeah, the matches were kind of whatever. They were all good, as they're gonna be. It's AEW.
Yeah.
They're gonna be good.
I mean,
And then there was these like kind of, it was not interviews, but what would you call a testimonial, something.
Yeah.
Little soundbite from each one. It's a simple show. It's pretty effective.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
I think the main takeaway was the fact that MJF was just being a complete dick to Brody Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Brody Jr. had a kendo stick and he whacked him with it, which was pretty tremendous.
That was pretty great.
Yeah. All in all, it highlighted a lot of people that I feel could deserve the spotlight in the Dark Order now, like Anna Jay, John Silver, even Colt Cabana to a degree.
10 got a win.
Yeah. That dream match
Yeah.
that Brody Jr. put together was not bad either.
Yeah, pretty good.
So, it's just, it was a fabulous piece, and at the end of the show, Tony Khan, they put the boots and the bandana in the middle of the ring, which was a very nice touching gesture, and then Tony Khan basically made Brody Jr. the TNT champion forever, and they're gonna retire the current iteration of the TNT championship, and they're gonna have like a new design and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So I thought that was very fitting, very kind and whatnot. So
One day,
Apparently,
10
he's,
years down the line, he's going to come back with that belt.
if
Well, this is it. Apparently, he signed the contract.
he's
Signed
when
a
he's
deal
of
with
age, he can work for AEW when he's the right age. From like I said, 10 years from now, and who knows? I would love to see like the TNT Championship, kind of like with the FTW belt right now, just come out of nowhere, and then he just randomly defends it against people, and then Dynamite's like, I don't know, we don't sanction this belt anymore. Or
No,
whatever.
it's totally the opposite. He said you are the champion
That's
for
true.
life.
For
Even
life,
if you
yeah.
lose, you're still the champion.
That's true. He could lose the title match and still keep it and still
Yeah,
retain it. So.
Like just like British Bulldog, he's going to win that belt whether he likes it or not.
Oh. And then they promoted this upcoming Dynamite, which is going to have all sorts of like matches and things like that, and Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's going to appear.
Snoop Dogg's there.
Yeah. So I think after that, then Sasha Banks can go back to using his theme again. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the post show afterwards.
I saw
On you-
a fan cam footage of it. I know they actually taped something and put it on YouTube yesterday, but I didn't actually watch it because I kind of got the gist of it.
It was just Tony. What's his name?
Tony Khan,
No, the other one.
Tony
Go on,
Schiavone,
Josh. That's the one.
Schiavone.
Schiavone, yeah.
Schiavone, yeah.
Schiavone.
Couldn't think of his surname. Yeah, it was basically just him talking to a camera, and then every now and then someone would come in. I'm guessing he was sitting right by the stage somewhere, because someone would just go past him and come on camera. And it was really funny because Cody had a walkie-talkie, and Brody Jr. had the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept trying to talk to him throughout while he was on camera, and he just kept ignoring him. And then he eventually come back on, and whoever was sat with Brody Jr. said, "Oh, he's here, yeah. He's sitting there playing video games. He was just ignoring you." It's great.
Yeah, it was cool to see him like really enjoying his time at ringside and John
You know what
Silver.
I got a feeling of, and it sounds a bit soppy to say, but you don't get this with WWE. Especially watching the thing afterwards on YouTube.
Yeah.
You got a real impression of that AEW is a proper family,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you don't get that with WWE. WWE's a company, it's a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you got a real good, even you know, Tony. I forgot to say his name again. Just
Tony
say his name
Khan.
again.
Giovanni.
No, the other
Shivani.
one.
Shivani.
Tony the other one. Even he was just sat there talking, and it's like some random person that walked past wouldn't have a clue who they were, but he was hugging them and saying, you know, how he hadn't seen them for a while and stuff, and just little things like that. I don't think you. I mean, obviously we don't see everything, but
Yeah.
I just don't. It seems like they're a real close knit bunch at AEW.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point and takeaway. I feel it definitely does seem like like a lot of camaraderie and whatnot back there, as opposed to WWE where it's like more corporate. You gotta,
It's all business.
Yeah.
You're a robot there.
They gotta make sure that Mark Carrano's not talking shit about you or whatever.
I don't know if were you watching online?
I was watching on the Watch TNT app.
Okay. Because I was watching through Fight.
Yeah.
And they don't have the ads on there.
The side-by-side breaks or picture pictures. JR
All that, yeah. And there was a bit. Jericho mentioned something about the UK.
Oh no.
And JR said, "Oh, we can't wait to get back over there when as soon as we're allowed to." He said, "What's that chicken place called over there?" And Jericho went, "Nandos." He went, "Yeah, that's the one." He said, "I can't wait to get over to Nandos again." But he just kept saying it. It was obvious he was just trying to get a plug in for Nandos.
He just really likes Nandos. If I say it enough times, I might get a free Nandos.
I've never
Don't think about them cards, so it's free.
The black card, the mythical black card from Nandos. Yeah.
I've never had Nandos before, but I would try them over there before I even try.
I thought they had
KFC.
Nandos over there.
Because KFC is shite.
Nandos over there.
I don't think they do. Where's Nando's countries? Where is Nando's? Oh, apparently there is Nando's in the US.
Really? I thought it was a US brand. So.
This location. Let's see. So, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. You used to be in Virginia, right?
Yeah. I mean, why put one there after I leave? What the hell?
Apparently there's 10 of them there.
Oh, God.
10?
10 Nando's in Virginia. Rosslyn, Ballston. Ballston, that's great. So Arlington, Reston, Woodbridge, Gainesville, Fairfax, Alexandria.
Yeah, that sounds
Ashburn,
like Northern Virginia, near DC and all that.
Illinois,
Chicago.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm on their Twitter and it's like DC, Maryland, Virginia, and Chicago.
Yeah.
So.
That is it.
Where are you in Ashburn? I always forget where you are.
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, I knew it was a north or south in it. Yeah. Yeah, I always thought Nando's was an American brand anyway. But
No, Portuguese, aren't they?
The way they were talking about it was like they only went there when they were here. So.
It is, according to Wikipedia, is a South African restaurant chain.
Oh, right, South African.
That specializes in Portuguese African food, including its signature flame-grilled peri-peri chicken style. Founded in Johannesburg in 1987, Nando operates over 1,000 outlets in 35 countries.
I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. I don't.
Uh-oh.
Get
People
the hell
seem to
out.
rave about it, but
Uh-oh.
do you like it?
I do like it. Yeah, I mean it's expensive.
Yeah, it's
It costs
expensive.
more than it really needs to, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like it.
I don't know, I would try it. I don't like the fact that their top retweet right now is this is better than Popeyes, because that's some fighting words
Bold
to me.
claim.
Yeah.
I remember we went with a group of people from work about 3 or 4 years ago, and we sat down and didn't know what to have, and there was a guy next to me who wasn't really sure what to have. He ended up getting a whole chicken to himself.
Wow.
He just sat there eating a chicken.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's my lasting memory of Nandos.
Oh, man. Yeah, it definitely looks better than KFC. So I would.
It's more of a restaurant type place than KFC.
Yeah.
KFC's a fast food place, isn't it? Nando's, you could actually, if you like the food, you could probably go for like an actual meal.
Yeah, it used to be that their burgers were way too small, though. I think they've done like a butterfly chicken burger, which is like doubled up the size, so it's better now. But it used to be that you go there and have like a nice little chicken burger, but it's way too small. You'd have the two sides, and it's just not quite there. I think the last couple of times I went, it was more satisfying. Been for a long old time.
I don't think I've been for a while since the guy had the chicken.
That's just pretty well. This guy have a whole chicken.
Speaking of ridiculous orders, a similar thing. I remember going out for a Christmas meal out one day with work, and there was this guy who he hadn't long been working there, a couple of months at the most, and he got 2 large pizzas to himself.
Jesus.
And just literally just thought it was totally normal. We're all sitting there eating like fish and chips and normal meals. And he sat there with literally 2 large pizzas. And his argument was it was okay because he didn't get a starter.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just a standard 2-course meal, I guess.
Fair enough. Oh man. Well, I think that's gonna do it.
Chicken burger. There you go.
I think that's gonna do it for
Should
this
we-
week.
We're
Sorry.
gonna do some awards and stuff next week when Beans turns up.
Yeah, we could do that. Sure.
Shall we do some wacky predictions?
I
As
haven't thought of any yet.
there will be a pandemic.
I haven't thought of anything either, really.
Yeah. When will fans be back? Will they be back for WrestleMania? Presumably they won't be back for the Rumble.
I think they might have some now. Looking at that,
Some.
When's
I don't know if you
Mania's
there's,
like what in April, right?
the say in April, but the was thought they might even push it back a little bit. So
I would say.
They're saying March 28th. Apparently that's the penciled in date for it anyway.
I would say no. If it's March 28th, no.
well, just before we came on air, I was watching a boxing fight, which you told me was in Texas.
Yeah, apparently in Dallas.
And in Dallas, yeah, and that was, I'd say, at least 75% full. There were empty seats. You could see the empty seats, but I don't know. I think if they can get away with it, then they will do. But
I mean, if
and you've
AEW
seen,
can have fans.
I was gonna say AEW.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a record attendance this week?
Yeah, that's true. That was probably the most people that they've ever had at Daly's Place during the pandemic era. Is
Yeah.
what Jericho, JR, and Shivani were all trying to put out there.
So I don't know. I mean, they're in Florida, aren't they? So
I'll take a quick shot of that. But yeah, I mean, if they can get away with it, it seems a little bit more tolerable now, sort of, but at the same time, it's still a pandemic, you know? I mean, California's still in like a fucking shutdown state, so I don't think, if they were to continue on with, having WrestleMania Hollywood over there. So if they're going to redo the Tampa Bay one, I mean, now's the time to do it, I guess. But at the same time, we're still in a pandemic with a deadly virus, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get like a full arena, but I could see some fans being there for the Rumble.
Yeah, the Rumble's going to be a close one, I think. WrestleMania, I agree. I think there could be some limited numbers.
I think if they pushed it back to like maybe an April or even May, to when possibly this vaccine's like more distributed and things like that, then I would be more likely to say yeah, fans would show up. But right now, if it's March, no, I think it's still too early.
How are they rolling out the vaccine over there? Because over here it's done by age, so
yeah, I
like
think
85-year-olds are getting it first, and then 80s, and then 75s.
Yeah, I think it's kind of somewhat similar over here. I'm not entirely sure.
So I would say that probably wouldn't have much of an effect, but given that WWE's core audience is 50 plus, actually it might.
See, the problem you've got with over there, there's obviously a lot more people, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot longer. See, what they're talking about the vaccine here is you can get the majority of the older people done, like now, so as soon as possible. Then they can move down the list. You're talking like 60s and then 50s, and they can get down the list quicker, which I mean, obviously you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, but they're saying they reckon they want to have everyone done by Easter. So that's April, isn't it? So.
Which is why I'm like, yeah, April seems more likely. So, I don't know. Well, it's just a wait and see sort of thing. But that would be my answer to that. Is like, if it's in March, no. If it's in April, yes. So that'll be that. So we'll be back next week, hopefully, with Beans.
Have a little think about some predictions. The bolder, the better.
When is the Rumble, by the way?
It's end of the month, isn't it?
Is it the 28th?
28th sounds right.
Okay, so we got plenty of time. That's fine. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully Beans will be here off of his hangover from New Year's. Happy 2021, everybody. And
31st, January 31st.
Oh, okay, awesome.
That's a Sunday.
Okay, you got it. Take care. We'll see you then. Stay safe, stay warm and all that, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.